Lowe's pressure washing here. I'm on my way to the airport right now to fly out to the convention. We have the watch convention going on in Houston, Texas. We're at the airport. Gonna get on a plane. See you when we land.
Fasten and carry-on items stowed until the aircraft is parked at the gate and the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. Everything you brought on board. On behalf of Delta and this Atlanta and Detroit-based crew, we've enjoyed having you on board and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Guys, we touched down in the ATL. We just left Huntsville, Alabama, and now we're in Atlanta. We're gonna be laid over here for about, I don't know, a few hours. And then we're gonna jump on to Texas. So yeah, see you guys when we land in Texas. Guys, we are in the ATL. Guys, I just went and got one of those chair massages. I got 30 minutes. I think it was $72. And I gave him $100 because that man deserved every bit of that tip. And let me tell you, he worked on my back. You sit in the chair and put your face in the pillow thing. So he worked on my back. He got all the knots out, man. He said, man, you're one of the hardest rocks I've ever felt. Like I feel like $1 million. So I'm gonna take this this time off down here, 4 days, 3 days, however long I decide to stay, 2 days. Anyway, I'm gonna relax, get some massages, eat some good food, and relax. All right, so I think we can take that one or this one. Let's look and see. Do we want that one or do we want that one? No, we don't want that one. Let's take this one. We'll take this one right here. All right, showtime. We're gonna put this handy dandy paperwork. How you open this? I like this. Here we go. All right, put the wallet right there. Shake the glove department, and we out of here. It's a pretty nice little car, man. What's it got? 3,500 miles on it. All right, guys. Let's check out the room. Got a nice safe and I believe a refrigerator, microwave, decent bathroom. All right. So far, so good. Let's get this air cranking. We'll go about 60. We'll go about 68. There we go. On. Boom. Let's get some lights on. There we go. That's better. Now we can see what's going on. There we go. There, now we can see. Perfect. Get some light in here. Nice little place, man. All right, good deal, good deal. Nice little table here. Oh yeah, I like this. Good stuff. All right, time to get some food.
Hydrophilic. There's two types of windows. You have hydrophilic and you have hydrophobic. Hydrophobic is kind of like Rain-X. It beads really bad. And if you don't get a thorough rinse, you're going to have a ton of spots because the window's rejecting the water. So this one is hydrophilic. It's an easy rinse. Usually commercial's hydrophobic. I don't think any of these are hydrophobic. Yeah. Yeah, it's a time saver, especially on residential. Right after a house wash, if you have two guys, you can have one guy start the house wash and then halfway through have a guy start windows behind him. I mean, you're adding a couple $100 on the ticket and you're already on the job.
Which is good. That's what
Yeah, and you could sell it from the estimate. You could say, okay, we're here to do the house wash. I just want to let you know that the windows are going to be clean, but they're not going to be spotless. If you want a spot-free rinse, we have a water bed system. We'll give your spiel. Because, everybody loves clean windows, especially the wife who's home looking out of them all day.
you talking really good.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they
That's crazy.
Pressure washing here, guys. We live in Texas. We're at the first Wash Shield event hosted by my main man, Keith Phillips, right there. Texas Pressure Washing. Guys, it's a great turnout. We have a lot of people doing window cleaning, doing pressure washing, sealing, everything you want to know, it's here. So if you can make it out today and tomorrow, it's awesome. A lot of good people, a lot of giveaways. You're giving away so much stuff. It's crazy. It's epic, man. So make sure you tap in. Make sure you follow the channel. And I hope to see you here. Let's go.
Every hour, I'm going to be giving away a Yeti cooler, a hat, some fan kit, and more Yeti coolers.
I want the Yeti cooler.
So if you can put the cards in that, when we get over there, put your cards in there. I'll be pulling every hour on the hour.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, thanks for having us. Hey, so again, I'm Edward Murphy myself, out of New Braunfels, Texas. I am an AWE dealer here in Texas. Yeah. All right. So this skid right here weighs about 750. 150, 1500, you get the idea. It'll fit on that. A lot of my customers also put them on trailers. They get the small trailers that hold them on the axle and they pull them around with it. So what are we looking at here? Out here in the back, I got two 55-gallon tanks. One for SH, one for water, for your buffer tanks. You got an awesome ladder rack. You have 200 feet of soft wash hose, 100 feet of water hose, 200 feet of pressure wash hose. Down the bottom, you got a proportioner. And down here, tucked away, you got a degreaser and or a surfactant tank. All right, to work with your proportioner over here. We'll get to this in a minute. That's pushing to 5.5, by the way. 5.5. Trailer. This bad boy. Oh, the wait time, build time for this is looking about 4 to 5 weeks. I think we're finally caught up. 4 to 5 weeks. Okay. This bad boy right here was a ton well worth waiting. I put this order in a long time ago, and a little frustrating, but he was right. Once I got it, I love it. It's like getting a new truck, right? And let me go ahead and talk about it. So if you're wanting a trailer, the trailer builds are anywhere from 5 to 6 weeks plus, depending on what you want and what you're looking for on your build. So let me go ahead and start here. I got a 1-horse booster in here. I got a 5.5 gallon, 52-inch light bars all the way across. All electric reels. Got 200 feet pressure wash, 100 feet water, 200 of pressure, and 200 on an 18-inch reel. Compressor. First you got your wand. And of course you got this bad one with remote, 250, 275 reach. Come on into here. Look, you're going to run into a whole lot of different types of builders, and everyone has their own idea what a trailer should be or a skid should be. This one we chose to go with generator to power the 1-horse booster in here. And we'll come back around and look at that 1-horse booster. Our two tanks over here, I got two 30 tanks. One for degreaser on the other side, for Franklin on this side. Of course, you got a 55 SH in the middle. Self-sustaining machine. 340-gallon water, buffer tank. Come on around. If you look at all the wiring for all the electronics,
Internal.
you can't see it.
Internal.
That's awesome. All the wire for electricity is in the tubes. All in the tubes. You got some little light bars here for nighttime use as well, inner. And also on the tanks, I've got lights facing upward into the tank. All right, no drop downs here. We don't drop down our lights. This is all in the system here, or in the trailer. On a 55, I'm sorry, 28-inch Whistler. All right. Got a wand up here, got a holder. Let's come back around this way. There's going to be some giveaways here in a second. It has to do with if you're listening to what I'm saying, all right? So, what was the size on this whistle wash?
28.
28. Who was the first one that? All right. This is the AWE first, okay? It's called Melon Mania. Smells like bubble gum. All right. Today, For the show only, we're selling it for 25 bucks. All right, just to stay competitive with our other vendors that are out here today. All right, what's your name? Robert. And your company? Texas Premier Western Pressure Washer. Here you go. Congratulations. All right. Okay. Now, if you notice and you look at the mounts were all built in-house. This whole trailer was built in-house. Okay? There's no subcontracting. This was built in-house. If you look at the mounts, in-house. Okay? You know, I got asked from, where's my, yeah, what's your name? Come here. And you're with what company?
Legends.
Legends. And what was your question?
When you're driving, there's no way that this is gonna pop out. There's no bungee, no zip tie, nothing. I didn't believe it.
Yeah. So he came up to me and said, I don't get it. My dad's taught me the attention to detail so I don't lose my stuff. You're telling me this is not coming out? I drove from Arkansas with this bad boy, you know, hammered down 85, 90 miles per hour to get here. Didn't come out. There you go, buddy. Thanks. Good question. Okay. And right over here, of course, we got our little 19-inch for those small areas. Gas tank, again, this mount was made by who? In-house. That was you, right? Yeah. All right.
David Miller,
And what's your company?
D3 Pressure Washer.
D3. All right. All right. That's FU Rush.
This one?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go, buddy.
What's your name, sir? Mark. The question was, what is this right here? Great question. FU Rush, also AWE product. So this comes with its own air valve. But as you all know, an extra one in there. Yeah, you can screw it on top, and then this is an extra one. And that way it doesn't blow up. Huge in the threads. You see a little bubble in the tank and someone's presenting, that becomes a topic of conversation, right? Because it's safety. So once again, thank you, sir. Once again, if you look at all the plumbing, all neat and tight, and most importantly, what? If it breaks down, you can get into it, right? It's easy to get into. 2 batteries, 9 gallons per minute. 9 gallons. So come around this way. How many gallons per minute is this?
9.
9? What do you want, a hat? Throw me one of those hats over there.
I need a hat, don't I?
Thank you, sir. And what's your name?
Barry, Lil's Pressure Washing.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
So if you come around
Save my
this
head.
way, on this side, you got a nice little cargo box, right? And here's the bad boy right here. Inside you have a 12-volt plug,
Flip the tag off for
and you
me.
have the 1-horse booster pump. 1-horse booster pump. So when we push out, easy. Unhook, connect. And you go without floor hose. As you can tell, everything's all lined and sprayed on. Does anyone have any questions on what I talked about here? One question gets you a prize. Anybody?
Why?
That is a question. All right, give him a hat.
He's like Oprah. You get a hat. You get a hat.
Get your hat too, man. Thanks for your help. So this, of course, as you know, this is my show rate. So this thing right here is going to run you about 32. Our trailer builds are anywhere from 15 up to 32, 35. Here we're looking about 32, 35. Here you're looking about 11.7. 11.7 for this build right here. And that's a 5.5. We talked about the detergents yesterday. 5.5. 5.5. Yeah, 5.5. Can I get a koozie over there? Thank you, sir. Here. And what's your name and company? East Mountain Pressure Wash. Thank you, sir. All right, any other questions?
How does your booster pump work? Like, how much flow do you get? Like, how far does it shoot?
Y'all want to see the booster pump in action?
Yes.
All right, let's go to the back. Did you hear that kick in? When you're not using it, it cuts itself off. When you use it, it gets back on. So let's go with this. Let's quit that wedding party over there.
Good deal.
So this is just water. As you can see, a lot of reasons.
Just have Virgil, man, like he does.
Do you have any other questions?
And he's so.
All right, time for some more giveaways.
Are you giving us Legends.
Legend!
Brian?
Good job.
And this is a good buddy of mine. No, it's not rigged, all right?
Am I picking another one or are we gonna wait? We putting Brian's back in there or?
Yeah. Koozies. Anybody want a koozie? Yeah. Pass these back. Who makes this? AWE. What does AWE stand for?
Arkansas Wash, does it?
Oh, you only got one. All right, let's try this. What is this?
Orangeanus. Orangeanus.
All right, let's try this.
How do you pronounce it?
Where does AWE come from?
Arkansas.
Hey, there you go.
What's the name of that? How do you pronounce that?
Arkansas, Washington.
I'm talking about that soap.
Orange.
Okay, oranges.
Last giveaway.
General Pulp.
Last giveaway. $120 value. 120 value. We're gonna do this inside. All right. Next hour. So if you haven't put your card in here, put your card in here. 120 value. We're gonna give it away.
My favorite thing about this is like I hear a lot of things, and most of them are pretty funny. I love hearing that I have this master plan. I do not. I have a best friend. He's super talented, and he'll do anything that I ask because he's dumb. If he was smart, he wouldn't do anything that I asked because he would probably lead an easier life. But he likes challenges like I do, and so washing was hurting him. We're both retired Navy. When you push like that, especially submarines, it kind of beats you up, and you ignore a lot of things. If you say anything is wrong with you, you get kicked out of the submarine force. No one wants that. We are elite, and we're considered elite. And in a force of 375,000, there's 20,000 of us. And those 20,000, there's 165 people qualified to do what I did, and qualified to do what he did. So we were elite of the elite. The submarine couldn't go to sea without me, but it could go to sea without my CO. Without my XO, without my navigator, but not without me. So it's easy for us to take all that training and apply it to this, the fluid dynamics, the friction loss, the fluid power, the electrical theory. I mean, we were electricians. So that's where our background comes from. So I said, hey, I can see that this is really bothering your back and your knees. Let's do something else. Let's build rigs. Me thinking that would be not as bad. Now he's crawling under trailers and crawling around skids and banging himself up, but it's a little bit more consistent. And now I've gotten to the point where I'm saying you need to teach people what you're doing instead of doing it yourself, because if you do everything, we don't have a business when your back goes out. And now we're looking at Florida, and he's gonna leave the Texas shop, and he'll be in the Florida shop, because he's got his team trained to the point where this week in our shop, he's got a neon sign that says Aaron Shop. And I went up to Tim, who is extremely talented, and I said, let me be clear about where your authority ends. It's right behind Aaron, because when he leaves, that's gonna say Tim Shop. You're gonna take over, because that's the level he's trained him at in months to fully build a system with being gone. When he delivered a trailer for us in Florida, I said, stay there. He said, why? I said, because you're hurting, and I need you to heal. And then I called his girlfriend, and I said, send him to the chiropractor, send him to the masseuse, please take care of him, because he's stubborn, and he doesn't know how to not push. And we didn't miss a beat, because he's trained everybody in our shop to be that good. And that's why it's like, how hard can you push? It's not about pushing yourself. You have to push your team. You have to train your team. And if you can do that, then you can do more. And this is the craziest thing I think I've ever heard. Someone told me, we were having a conversation, and there was a bunch of washers, and it was our very first commercial job where I didn't show up to the job at all. All I did was close it. And it was the biggest job we'd ever done as a company. And I didn't set foot on the job site once. I didn't take any phone calls about it. I didn't do anything about it. I was pretty pumped. My team crushed it. They did everything I wanted them to do, and I didn't have to do anything. And I had another washer because I'd be embarrassed to say that. And I was like, why? It was because I'm proud of doing everything myself. And I said, it's cool. We want different things. It doesn't offend me that that's what you want. And I think that's the thing that you have to remember is, like, everybody in this room wants something different. And what you want and what you want are not the same thing, but that's okay. Just like if we don't agree about things. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do differently, and you can change, how you want to approach it, how you want to clean something. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. The only thing that you'll see me, even online, I'll draw a firm line in the sand is I will not play my feelings affect math and science. Those are just factual things. Now, maybe I misunderstand something and you can educate me. I'm all for that. Because if I have like a misconception, then I love somebody that says, hey, you're interpreting this wrong, or hey, this is actually how it works. And some of the smartest guys in the industry have like messaged me and privately like explained their theory on things to me, and like completely took me to school in a very constructive way. And it was some of the most enlightening conversations I've ever had. You have two approaches to that. It made me better as a better businessman and a better operator and a better vendor, or you can be upset that somebody is telling you that you don't know what you're talking about. Now, that's not what they said. Their approach was very professional as well. They were like, hey, I think you should consider how this works. So that, I think that one of the things that you should do is realize everybody's goals are different, everybody's desires are different, everybody's approach is different. And don't be so quick to judge each other. I see a lot of time wasted on this. We had this conversation today. Man, Facebook's fun. You get a lot of crazy answers for stuff, and you see a lot of negativity. The reason I don't get drawn into the negativity is I just don't care about it. It's not about greed, but I can just make it super simple to my entire team. We're professional, and we're never ever going to respond, ever. If it's a conversation or a discussion, I'll have it all day long. I'll have it on a public forum, I'll have it in a private forum, I'll pick up the phone and talk to you. But if you want to be unprofessional, the conversation's over. I don't have any time for it. It's just not productive, especially if we're getting into our emotions, which is back to get over your emotions and make good business decisions. They'll be painful, they'll be hard. This is not easy. This was a conference week for us. We did a lot, but just alone, I probably worked 80 hours in the office this week. And I don't stop working when I go home. It's a choice. It was rare that I worked 80 hours washing because you only have so much daylight. And then if you're working night jobs, you're probably not working 24 hours, so it's gonna burn you out. But you make choices. If you wanna get off the truck, make the choice to trust your judgment and hire somebody. Sometimes you have to listen to your gut. Sometimes you have to have a good system in place because your gut lies to you. You know, maybe you can't judge talent well, but there are services out there that can do that for you. Just like Upwork and Fiverr can like take these things off your plate. You don't know how to make videos for your business? Well, there's people that do it really inexpensively. You know, the biggest question I see all the time is how do I land jobs? And like, I need a marketing company. I've had 26 messages this week for a marketing company, and I said, I don't have a recommendation for you because I've fired everyone I've had tried.
Right.
I'm not gonna badmouth them. I just don't have a recommendation. That's it. I need to badmouth them. People will burn you. My advice is just don't do business with them. That's the worst thing that I can do to you. If you want to work with me and you don't deliver, I'm just not going to work with you. I don't need to say anything. You're going to continue burning bridges and doing whatever it is that you do that's not landing you the business that you want. It's okay. You're making that choice to run your business that way. I'm not here to fix your business. I want your service to benefit me. And if it doesn't, I'm on to the next. This is a trial and error of everything that we try. And I really enjoy what we're doing. And like I said, the vendor thing was not a plan, but we were blessed to be surrounded with talent. And I cannot say this enough, the DoD SkillBridge program made both of my companies. 90%, maybe 95% of my company is veteran. Most of the people in the store are retired veterans. I get guys that come into my store and they just absolutely turn it on day one. It's shocking. And you don't get that normally. But I got a 25 year veteran that's done unbelievable amounts of stuff and figured it out. Those guys require minimal supervision. All I'm doing is like minimal training. They learn fast, they pick it up fast, and they get it. And then I get a lot, so it's either that or I get the first termers. And the first termers are usually pretty good, maybe about 50%. I would say come in right away and need zero direction. Then you get the other 50% that maybe need a little direction. My rule of thumb with that is I got one conversation for you when you come in. I said, you're here to push. I don't care if you want a job or not. And if you do, I'd love to give you a fair shake. If you just want to resettle, I'm here to support that because I did 20 years and I would love the SkillBridge program available to me because you're an active duty, paid active duty, but you're an unpaid intern. So it's a benefit for the company, a benefit for you. If you're wondering about how that works, you have the authority over them. If they don't perform, you can send them back. And trust me, they don't want to go back because they've embarrassed their branch, the entire Department of Defense, and they've personally embarrassed their CO. And I've sent one person back. I did not want to. It did not go well for them. It derailed their entire life. But you make choices in life. And I've had 2 conversations recently with interns that were really just not kind of pulling their weight. I sat them down and I said, this is gonna be real quick. It's gonna be a one-sided conversation. I run 2 companies. I'm super busy and I'm happy to have you here. But you ever heard the term high knees? And they go, yes, because most people played sports as a kid. I'm like, I better see high knees and effort or you're gonna go home. There's no redos. This isn't a charity. So you get 2 choices. You walk out of this room and you show me maximum effort for the rest of the time you're here, and maybe I'll hire you. Or I'll give you a good job recommendation. You don't, we're not going to have this conversation again. You're done. I have not sent anybody home. They usually walk out of that room massively motivated. And I've even had one of them come back to me. You guys see me wear the pants and stuff. Yes, this conversation I was wearing the panda pants. So at the end of the day, he comes in the office and he goes, I'm gonna be honest, that was the most intimidating conversation I've ever had, and it was also the most awkward. And I said, why is that? He said, because I'm sitting across the table from you and you're just grinding on me and you're wearing panda pants. And I said, okay. And I'm done with that. Like, I'm not holding a grudge against you. Like, I don't care about the conversation. We're done with it. I don't have an emotional attachment to it. In fact, I find that it's a waste of my time. I hope that after 4 or 5 years in the military, you understand how to come in and crank somewhere. Obviously, you had some failures in leadership, so guess what? You've now got your retired NCO that's going to motivate you. It's a one-time conversation, take it or leave it. So I highly encourage all of you to do SkillBridge, and you do not have to be associated with the military in any way, shape, fashion, or form. You can just Google DoD SkillBridge, and you want to be on the industry partner side. What time is it? I'm sorry, I don't have to talk about it.
13 minutes.
It's 1:25?
1:45.
Okay, I don't want to go over because I want to hear him talk. So I highly encourage you to do DoD SkillBridge. If you don't, you are just shooting yourself in the foot. The most common thing I've heard from somebody when I've talked about this program, I don't have enough work for them. Do you think that that veteran is going to be mad if you say, man, I'm just not busy, you can go home today? He's not going to be mad, he's getting paid. Not by you, by the government. And they are going to have VA appointments that you need to support, whether they're retired or whether they're not. They need to get on board with the VA. They need to do those things. So I highly encourage you to consider it, especially because as the program becomes more popular, they're not accepting as many people. When we applied back in 2019, or it was 2020, it took 2 months for us to get accepted. I've had people that are not even being acknowledged by the DoD right now. So I think it's by the area that you're in, how populous it is. Like if you looked at Houston when I started the DoD program, there were 6 companies doing it, and 4 of them were in locations were all one company. So it was really 3 companies. If you go look in Houston now, there's like 48. Another thing you'll find is that even though Houston is populated by all these DoD SkillBridge opportunities, is that people are not responding to the SkillBridge people. They're out of options. Their command has said yes, and these people have 0 options. So it's stay in the military and don't relocate to where you want to go, or man, you actually answered the phone. That's the most common thing I hear from all the people in SkillBridge. They're like, you answered the phone. And I used to do an interview process, and I used to do all this stuff, and I realized I was just wasting my time. I'm going to help anybody. I don't care. I have an army of SkillBridge people. I have a tracker now. I have to have a whole Excel tracker. I have so many people coming. It's not fun. I had a guy message me in early September. He's coming at the end of October for 6 months. Like no notice. I was like, okay, come on. I don't even care. Then they show up, and it's like this like amazing surprise of talent. I had a guy we talked forever ago. He finally showed up. He was running around the shop just killing it. I knew he was retired. He was talented. About 3 days in, I was like, hey, what'd you do? He was like, oh, I was a master sergeant in the Marines for 25 years. I'm like, oh. Oh, okay. So you've done some things. He's like, yeah. I got another guy, came in, and he was a retired chief warrant officer. Just absolutely crushes it. Runs a side business. This is the best part. If you have a good culture, I get guys that come to me, and they're like, yeah, I just want to relocate. And then I'm like, okay, I don't care, that's fine. I'm here to support you. I did it. I appreciate your service, whether it was 4 years or 20 or 25. Whatever you want. Every single person I've had that's been talented has changed their mind and said, I want to stay. And I said, I can't pay you what your training is going to pay you. Culture. I see what you're building, I want to be part of it. Okay. You're stupid and crazy, but come on, join the party, because I'm stupid and crazy, so let's go. And that's where I feel like what's allowed us to grow so fast. Our talent level is people want to be here. They want to help us grow and they want to help us build. And when you have buy-in, there's a huge difference from a team that wants to win versus a team that is pushed constantly and doesn't want to win. If you have to run a company and push everybody in the same direction, you've got no time to do what you need to do. And if your team can just go out there and just crush stuff, then you win. And that's the only reason that I've been able to do that. There is right time, right place, and finding the right people. And I hate to single him out, but like Thomas came to me and he was like, yeah, I just want to relocate. Highly trained guy in the Marines, all kinds of skills, and was like, yeah, I'm good. And then about 2 months in, I was like, I'm kind of reconsidering, I think I don't want a job. And I said, why? He said, culture. And then he did receive multiple job offers for over double what he gets paid and turned them down to stay here because he believes in what we're doing and wants to be part of this team. because he knows that if he goes somewhere else, he's not going to get this. And money isn't everything. And then I lucked out, and the chief warrant officer, we were 3 days in, he said, "You need some help." And I said, "I do." I said, "I'm throwing money at people left and right, but I can't find somebody that's willing to step into the role that I need them to fill." And it's not just the store manager, it's becoming the face of the company. So I can step out and do something else. Because if you think that I don't want to do something else and find some new challenge to overwhelm my life, welcome to how I'm wired. There are always going to be something next. And so I brought Caitlin in, and with zero training and following me around and wanting to throttle me and bury my body in a shallow ditch, she taught herself how to run my company. I've only showed her a couple things. She's just that talented. And then I went out of country and I didn't have to do anything. You know, we communicated and coordinated because I was still the focal point for a lot of the store, but she crushed it. So you have to trust people. You have to push them. And then you can get to where you want to be. And I don't know where that is. Everybody has a different goal. And to be perfectly honest with you, if I could do what I wanted to do and I hadn't set myself down this path, I would probably just go wash houses solo. You can make a lot of money with low overhead doing that. It's pretty fun. Especially once you get rolling, you can pick and choose what you want to do. And you're like in year 2 or 3 and the customer calls and you're like, "Oh, you're on my do not serve list. I'm done with that. That house was terrible. I was there all day. He came out with a white glove and I didn't like that situation. So now as a business owner, I'm not going to do it again." I see a lot of those posts too where it's like, "Hey, I got this great customer, but they're just overbearing. They're mean to my crew." I tell everybody, I'm like, "If you have anybody like that, let me know because we're walking immediately." I don't care about the 1-star review and I don't care about the money. I care about courtesy and respect. And if we're going to go out there and we're going to get bend over backwards to serve whoever it is, whether it's a commercial or a personal, a residential person like that, we're going to give them 5-star service. I will build you a new house before you leave me a 1-star review. But if you disrespect any of my crew and you push that line and you cross it, we're done. I don't care what it is. I'll hire another company before I put my company in the crosshairs. And I'd explain to them, "Hey, we're walking. You want this money, you can have it." I don't care. You have to decide what your line in the sand is. You have to decide what your culture is. One of the things I talked about in Cabo briefly is take care of your people. Everybody sees us posting on Facebook. I love to do everything I can little to provide for my company. We provide breakfast, we provide lunch, we do fun stuff. We go to Schlitterbahn. I just booked us all movie tickets for Black Adam on a Thursday. I have no idea what our schedule is, but I'm gonna move it. I'm going to stop whatever is going on that day, and we're going to go see that damn movie. If you don't want to go, that's fine, but I'm going to stop work in time for us to go do it. We're just going to work and meet our goals before that. I'm not going to blow it off. But it's not about that. You are going to pay taxes on what you do. You're going to pay state taxes, you're going to pay federal taxes. Part of being a business owner is understanding that me doing those things is a tax write-off. You have a choice. You can pay the government or you can take care of your people.
Amen.
And build your equipment up. There's a reason that most companies at the end of the year buy a lot of equipment. There's a reason that I've never paid any federal taxes because I've maxed out all my write-offs. I'm not saying I pay any, but you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't go pay my 28% federal taxes because we bought a ton of equipment. That's why we went from 1 to 3 trucks in 1 year. We were like, okay, we sit down with the CPA, what can we do? We dropped the hammer on it. Same thing, there's multiple things you can do. Travel for, business functions. Nashville's a write-off. If you travel here, this is a write-off. I mean, I'm not a CPA, I'm not trying to give you the gospel, but you should go educate yourselves on these things. You don't have to become a tax expert, but you should reach out to somebody that is and pay them the money. Don't be that company that's like, man, everybody's too expensive, but then you're the most expensive pressure washer in your city. It's like, that doesn't work. I love guys that call me and they're like, can you give me a discount? I'm like, yeah, I can charge you more and then give you a discount. I can make the margin higher. If I make the margin higher, then I can give you a discount. But I'm already trying not to scalp you, so what do you want? And they're like, I'm good with where we are. I'm like, okay. It's an easy answer for me. It's not awkward. I'm just like, I love the guys, hey, can I get a veteran discount? I'm like, well, where's my veteran price increase? And they laugh. I mean, it's a good nature. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't take offense to it. I'm not trying to. But I think that there's a lot of good stuff that came out of my dad's class. And I'm really excited to see AC speak. And he's going to be available after this. And you're going to sit at a booth, right, for a little bit?
Yeah, I got some books with me.
Yeah, he's got some books. So if you never met him and you don't know what he does, I'm going to let him, he's got an intro video. I'm going to let him tell the whole thing. But I was really excited when he agreed to speak here because he speaks at a lot of events and he runs a very large company. And there's some history here about a track record of success. And you guys have all heard the thing about like surround yourself with successful people. So I appreciate you guys all coming today and taking the opportunity to surround yourself with a successful person, which is AC Lock.
Thanks for good video, right?
I'm supposed to give you this.
Yes.
Job, and I was really hurt at that job. And so both my arms were really messed up and I had several surgeries and they couldn't fix me.
January of 2016 when Tina was laid off from Freightliner, and then in February I was laid off also from the same company. We had both worked in a union job making good money. Suddenly we found ourselves with nothing.
And I was in sales for a large corporation. 18 years and knew the product really very well. He was a new boss, came in, said, hey, we can't use you anymore. So sign this paperwork and here's your box with all your sales trophies. I'm 50 years old, I didn't know what to do.
We just kept coming back to these videos from AC Lock here. Then we got back to another video of AC Lock here, and then it was him walking around showing somebody skid off. And I'm like, wow, this thing is really neat.
I'm familiar with software systems. I would see them at trade shows and industry events. So I got the course. I was so impressed by what I was learning from AC. Then I ended up reaching out to software systems after I had the course.
I went to an event in Huntington Beach and AC was there. And I told him my story and he looked around and said, you have 4 sons. He shook my hand, he says, you will become a millionaire. Here we are 7 years later. We joined the network immediately after that.
We blew up because we were just getting job after job after job, huge jobs. This year, we did 750,000. I wouldn't be able to do that without the direction that I was given.
God put us right on the right path with the right people.
And then it went from I need to feed my family to where I'd like to help other people feed theirs.
So if you're an investor, I encourage you to look at this.
Don't be scared to be an entrepreneur, but don't feel like you have to figure it out on your own.
If I can put money into the pockets of hardworking Americans, $500 million back into America, all by just giving them a chance.
When I think about jobs, the bottom line is when business, especially small business, service businesses create jobs for people, it helps fortify families, it helps fortify faith, it gets the wheels of commerce going, it impacts communities. Jobs are the building blocks of the fabric of this country. And without jobs, people cannot achieve their dreams because the government is not in the business of helping people achieve their life's goals and dreams. Jobs do that.
When you're a public speaker, one of the things that you fear absolutely the most when you're getting ready to do a keynote at a group like this is getting a zit 3 days before the conference. It's just crazy. We had this hurricane come through. We were in England past couple weeks, And we flew home Tuesday night. And Tuesday, I guess with all the craziness and going and everything else, I'm like, what is this thing on the side of my nose? It's just horrible. And we fly home, and we immediately come home to a hurricane, in case some of you guys know we're from Florida. And just a lot of craziness going on. We got 2 weeks worth of laundry that we need to do, and our dryer at our house isn't working, and the power was out anyhow, so it doesn't matter if it was working or not. So we got to get laundry done. Everything else is scurrying to go here. They shut down the airport. We weren't going to be able to get here Friday like we had planned on doing. We got here this morning. But anyhow, we're here. This is my beautiful wife here, Karen. Those of you guys, how many of y'all have already purchased the book, The 5 Keys to Pattern Success? A couple few of you here in the room. So there's a whole chapter in here of how Karen and I met each other and how I used the 5 keys to pattern success to single-handedly date almost every redhead at Abilene Christian University and end up with my beautiful redhead right here. But it's a very, very practical system. It's not just a business system. And what I really want to share with you guys is some of you guys are numbers oriented. How many people in here understand spreadsheets and numbers and formulas, and you're wired up that way, okay? The rest of you guys are like hands-on, right? Show me a picture, right? Give me a video. Inspire me. Get me all kind of wound up and excited about this thing we call pressure washing. And it's kind of cool. My wife and I get to travel the world. We now have soft wash systems in 9 countries. 9 countries. We get to travel the world because we figured out a cool way to sling bleach on a building. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, okay, well, AC, how do you get to that point? Well, it's the 5 keys to pattern success. What a lot of you guys don't realize is Karen and I, we started right where you're at. Right where a lot of you guys are at. Some of you guys might recognize this house. How many of y'all live in a house like this? Okay? My wife and I call this, well, I call this, my wife didn't call it this. I called it our love shack. This is the love shack. Now, this is a recent picture of it. I did not have, was that an El Camino? No, that's a Subaru. You can see the seats in the back. Okay, it's not an El Camino. If it was an El Camino, I might have had it. Subaru, I'm not going to have. But this is a more modern picture. I pulled it off of Google Earth, went down the street, got a picture of it. So I can show you guys. I started this business October of 1991. The seed money for this business was my dad went out and bought me, my dad helped me out, okay? Bought me a $1,200 pickup truck. A Dodge D50, which was basically just a rebadged Mitsubishi pickup truck. And a $500 pressure washer from Sam's. And that was the seed money of my business. How many of y'all started out like that? Yeah, $500 pressure washer. I see all these guys online. Some of y'all get irritated with these people. I feel bad for them. I'd like to clean a gas station. I'm putting in a proposal. Do y'all think a 2.5 gallon a minute pressure washer will work? And we all read this on Facebook. We go, oh my gosh, not another one of these. But I started there. A lot of y'all started there. It's a good place to start, right? And I lived in this little house here. This house is $515 a month rent. And my daddy owned it. So when I couldn't make the rent every month, well, not every month, but the months I couldn't make it, daddy wasn't going to kick you out. You know what I'm saying? I started right here in the Love Shack. We had our first only two children, but our 2 children, they're at the Love Shack. This is where we started. My business was I remember the first year I did $83,000 my first year in business. Now some of y'all are doing that now. Y'all adjust that for inflation and all, that's about almost $200,000 now. So $83,000 isn't what it used to be, but $83,000 my first year, $85,000 my second year in business. There's a picture of the first truck. When I was first in business, a lot of y'all make the same mistake. Y'all ready for this? I was Allstate Home Appearance Services. LLC. Yeah, don't put that on the end. LLC, like anybody cares if you're a freaking LLC, right? Okay? But it's funny, I was Allstate Home Appearance Services. I was kind of playing on that Sears Allstate name. I was hoping it was going to get me business. And later, as I got through the guinea pig stages of my business, I rebranded my company Mallard Systems. Now, this was before there were truck wraps. There was a thing called a Gerber machine. And the Gerber machine cut all the letters out of vinyl, and you had to back them with like gigantic rolls of tape, masking tape. And then you'd put it on the truck and you'd squeegee it on. My uncle owned a sign business. And we laid up the duck right there. That's Plucky Duck from Tiny Toons. Put it up there. I remember the first time I got a cease and desist letter from Warner Brothers. Okay? But put Plucky Duck up there, and I hand painted in all the color on the duck there. And our company slogan was, "Our ducks are in a row." Right there, that one move going from Allstate Home Appearance Services to rebranding as Mallard Systems. We've got our ducks in a row. 407-831-DUCK. Didn't change anything else in our advertising. Our closed sales and revenues went up 30% just by changing the name. Now, funny little thing you'll see right here, I'll take out my laser pointer. You see right there, does anybody see what that writing says right there? It says patent applied for. Back in 1992, I applied for the patent on soft washing. What y'all don't see in this picture is the thing that won out over me finishing the patent for soft washing is right underneath my wife's elbow right there was our 8-month in the womb daughter. About 7-8 months, my wife was pregnant there. Did not have health insurance, so I had to make the decision between going from provisional patent to finalizing my patent and paying that $5,000, $6,000, or paying for the baby that was coming. Guess what I chose? Baby. Because how many of y'all out there are soft washing right now?
I'm lightly applying water.
So a pretty cool picture right there. I mean, that was the very, very first Mallard truck. That's my wife Karen sitting right there in a railroad tie. And that was 1992. And even though I was only doing $85,000 a year, we were doing charity work out at the local Christian camp, cleaning the roofs out at the local Christian camp. You want to know why? Because I had nothing else to do, so there was no work on the board. It was August, September, kind of a slow time of the year, and I was at least trying to stay out there working, keeping my skills going, keeping busy. Not so I could create great Facebook fodder, because guess what? There was no Facebook back then. Okay? Not everybody was watching you do it back then. Went from that's 1992. Think about this, guys. Watch these dates real carefully. 1992 to 1996, 4 years. 4 years. That is 6 sales trucks and 6 service trucks. Y'all see our model? For every service truck, you have a what? Yep. No company in the service industry business has ever got over $1 million without having a sales team. Period. It's never happened. Got to have a sales team. And then from 1996 to 1998, count. That's 10 service trucks and 10 sales trucks. About $3.8 million a year. Average that out to $380,000 average per truck in 1998. And then we went from 1998, and by the way, we bought that piece of land and built that 6,000 square foot building in 1998. Went from that to 3 branches in the year 2000. We had our branch in Orlando, Florida, and then we did our branch in Tampa. You know, we did our branch in Tampa pretty conservatively. Like a lot of you guys might do. If you were doing some work in an area outside your town, you're like, I might want to put a branch over there. You might go get one of those rental office suites, right? Where you get a little office, you get a P.O. box, you get a conference room you can use when you want to, you got a printer, a little kitchenette in there. Y'all seen those kind of rental office suites? We put one of those in, we got some salespeople, we started driving the trucks to 2 hours to Tampa every day to do the work. and 2 hours back home, started getting some work going. So from the time we decided to do Tampa to the time we moved in and got an office and got its own trucks and wrapped the trucks and decorated the office, did all going, oh yeah, the deal was great. Honey, we are never eating there ever again. Y'all don't think you're as good as you are. So what you got to do is like Marcus, if you keep your customers happy, if you stay in front of them, you answer the phone, you love up on them, you do +1s, extra work, you do a great job, lots of steps, you do follow up with them. You know, send them little notes, remember their birthdays and anniversaries and all of that. And stay in front of them, they'll keep using you. They'll go, you know, it's a recession right now. We need to call Marcus because he's got a family to feed too. Right? But if you
take it easy, brother. All right, guys, we arrived at the airport. We just got off our Delta. We are in Atlanta right now. I'm gonna get some food, use the restroom, make some phone calls. I think I got like an hour and a half, something like that. My plane departs at like 2:09. So yeah, I'm gonna just relax a little bit. So yeah, good trip. I'll tell you all about it. So I actually got to get married back on the plane, which is where I like to be, so I can see everything. I don't have a window, but the flip side is I go right to the bathroom. Excuse me. You know, and crowded. I don't think nobody's next to me, but that's good. But so we're in Atlanta, and I'm gonna be back to Huntsville here. Real short flight, so like 30 minutes or something. So I'll see you guys when I land. Let's go. All right, guys, we made it home finally. So I stopped by Atlanta, had me a little spicy tuna roll there, and now I'm made it back to my city and having some sushi, some more sushi. Got out for sushi and water. So sushi and water, get hydrated, get the brain fed, get the body flowing good, go home, get some nice rest, and get up and conquer. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video now. It's gonna be just clips of the huge and things that went on. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you know anybody wants to be a part of this, what we're doing over here, you know, we're unifying people. We're taking it to the next level, man. Positivity, perseverance, prosperity. That's what we're preaching over here, man. People over profits. So if you're with the negativity, we don't want you. If you want to win, come on over here. We winning, and you know, that's really about it, man. You know, that's really about it. I hope you have an amazing day. God over everything. God and family. I love you all. Salute, and we out. Peace.